Hello, everybody. My name is Florence Nightingale. I have a long story and a journey to tell you about. I was born into a very wealthy family. When I was a young girl, I was very curious about what the world was. I remember when I was praying to God, God had told me to help others. I kept asking myself, what does it mean to help others? As I started to get a little bit older, I started seeing conditions become very bad. I see the poor, the disabled, and people who are sick were not getting good care or getting access to healthcare services. I remember when I was young, I saw a servant who was sick, very badly sick. I asked my parents what could they do, but they told me they couldn't do nothing. As I got a little bit older, I continued to study. I read books about medicine, including herbal medicine, looking at diagram pictures about the body, learning about body anatomy. Oh, it was a lot of work. During the Crimean War, me and my fellow nurses that were women, we went to help the injured troops. Oh, it was very difficult because we had to deal with the military politics because the higher military didn't like a female nurse and they wanted to make it hard for me to help the injured troops. But I didn't give up. I had contacted my wealthy family and they provided me with money to help with getting medical supplies, getting food, getting blankets, getting soap. And then me and my other nurses, we did the cooking, we made healthy food for the troops, we gave them fresh clothes, we washed their clothes, we gave them soap, we even helped wear bandages on them, and we helped those poor injured troops. They were very blessed and appreciative on how me and my fellow nurses took the time to help them. Also, I have to tell you something too. During the Crimean War, during the nighttime, I took my lantern right here, and I was called the Lady of the Lamp because I would patrol around, making sure the injured troops were taken care of very well. Some of them wanted me to give them good comfort, listen to them, and even some kind words and prayers too. After the war ended, I came back to London and back to Europe. I saw conditions were much worse again. The disabled didn't have rights. People who were poor couldn't get access to healthcare services. See people be sick a lot. You see the poor children who were malnutrition because they couldn't get access to healthy food. I see too many people that were homeless on the streets, but looking for housing, looking for something, good food, including medical care. It broke my heart to see what was going on. But I continue on to help others. I've started writing books about the need to improve healthcare services, improve hygiene places, the need for nutrition, and the importance of having universal healthcare idea to help people who are pre-existing conditions, who are poor, who are disabled, get the care that they need without being denied. I even help create a group to train more women to be nurses so they can help others too, like myself. I continue to write books about medicine and also other social justice policies too. Oh, it was a lot of work, but I was very grateful and appreciative of how I worked really, really hard to try to help others and to help the poor, the disadvantaged, and the disabled. Oh, I hope that God and Jesus know that I did the best I could to help others, to help the poor, the disabled, and to help other people who deal with healthcare issues too.
Hello, Florence.
Hi, Jesus Christ.
I want to let you know that I've seen all the hard work that you've done. I'm very proud on how you work hard to overcome the struggle as a nurse, navigating a bad political environment where everybody judges a woman for trying to do the right thing. And I'm very proud on how you continue to be active on social justice, including the rights of the disabled, write books about improving medicine, and advocating for universal health care to help many, many people who are poor or disadvantaged or struggle with healthcare issues get the care they need.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I love your compliments. They're very nice and inspiring to me. And also want to let you know that you and God had helped me guide this journey. You both had inspired me to help others. You know, if it wasn't for you and God telling me to help others, I didn't know where I would end up. I'll probably end up as a married, wealthy woman, and I wouldn't like that much.
Well, I want to tell you something too, Florence. I'm very proud on how you decided not to go your life as a wealthy person. You made the courage and the risk to help others, even if it wasn't popular, including with your wealthy family or with the wealthy economic class.
Oh, it was a little tough decision, but I decided it was good to help other people who are poor and disadvantaged and disabled. It makes me really sad to see nowadays and how people who are very wealthy love to use money for politics, but they like to use to bribe many politicians to be against many good services to help the poor, help the disabled, and even to help people get access to healthcare services. It makes me sad seeing how many wealthy people like to do this, not only in the United States, but all over the country. It makes me really sad to see how many wealthy people like to do damage on society instead of trying to do good for society.
It breaks my heart too. It makes me sad seeing how many people who are wealthy are not willing to take the time to be compassionate and understanding and critical thinking on helping the poor, the disadvantaged, and the disabled, and even trying to advocate for good policies like social justice, improving rights of the disabled, helping the homeless, or even pushing for affordable housing, or even advocating for better improvements of healthcare services. I want to let you know, Florence, that I believe healthcare is a right and it's not a privilege. I believe anybody should not be discriminated based on their color or disabled or based on their healthcare issue. And also, I want to say that I'm a big, strong supporter of universal health care, and I'll continue on to try to hope for the world to be a better place with that. And I want to say, Florence, you've done a good job of leading that good example with your advocacy, your hard work, and you're willing to make a world a better place.
Oh, thank you so much, Jesus. It makes me feel good to hear you say that. I too myself hope that in the long run that we can have more people being advocates for improving of health care, and also to advocate for the disabled and helping the poor, and even advocate for better improvements of healthcare services, like better research into medicine, like stem cell research, or into herbal medicines, and even more better ways to help improve on medical research, and to have better services so they won't deny many people who can't afford to pay. It breaks my heart to see nowadays that nobody ever pays attention to why we have a broken healthcare system, that we need to take care of it immediately.
I agree with you, Florence. It makes me really sad to see how many other people who are very religious like to use bigotry and hate. I like to use my name as a way to promote hate against good healthcare policies. It makes me very disappointed, though, but I always look for other people who want to advocate for good things, and I think you're doing a good job, Florence, and I appreciate all your hard work.
I appreciate you too, Jesus Christ. You know, as I live beyond, I always look at all my hard work, and I tell myself that I'm very appreciative on how I chose a life to help others and make a difficult risk to not live in the wealthy life that my family wanted me to. And I'm proud that I've continued to advocate for good policies, even if the upper military officials didn't like that, or if I dealt with people who didn't want to be friends with me, just because I want to advocate for good policies, including social justice, the rights of the disabled, and improvements of healthcare system.
I am so proud of you, Florence. We need more people like you, and I hope that your story and your journey and your overcoming struggles and you want to do good can help inspire many people, including people who want to go in the medicine field. So I would say I appreciate you too, Florence.
I appreciate you too, Jesus Christ. I continue to follow your religion. I pray and try to follow your philosophies of having compassion, kindness, understanding, critical thinking skills, and to even try to follow your good philosophies on social justice, including on healthcare policies and including improvements of human rights, including the rights of the disabled.
Well, Florence, I want to say I appreciate what you have done on trying to follow my principles and philosophies. Well, I had to go, but I want to let you know that I appreciate all your hard work. And thank you, Florence, for all the work that you've done.
Thank you, Jesus.
And I hope they have a good day.
I hope you have a good day too.